I'm actually excited to see this stone. Maybe it'll come down a little easier now. Um, but yeah, it looks like they filled it up to this point with this stone. So they get just this, I don't know, 3/8 inch stone here. It's kind of like a pea stone, I guess, maybe a little bigger. I'm hoping it's here from here the rest of the way and everything will come down a little easier. But yeah, all these tricks you see over the years. Usually people don't spring for this type of stuff, but they'll use mortar, sand, or debris. Most of this stuff comes from the chimneys that were built in the past. So actually, the woman was just walking by on the road here, and she said, my father rebuilt that chimney 65 years ago. She said her family owned this house from 1939 to 1999. She said, I remember, yep, he was chipping the brick, cleaning them all off. He used brick that he got from somewhere. And you can see that the used brick, they're all in here. These are the used brick. They have the mortar on them. They were probably cleaned up and used the last time. And these brick are all new brick. They're new modular, smooth face brick. They're not used in any way. So she said they sold the house in 1999. So I figured that the chimney had to be rebuilt, right around, my guess was looking at the chimney, it was 30 years old based on how it was built. But maybe it was only like 25. So it was like, or maybe a little less, built around 99 or 2000, around that day, I would guess. But yeah, somehow we got to break the cycle of failure because, her father's chimney didn't last that long. I think everybody thinks that they're going to do it a little better. Like, the original chimney probably lasted the longest. It probably lasted 100 years. And then when they went to rebuild it, they were like, well, this chimney only lasted 100 years. How are we going to make it, last longer? And it seems like we're failing more and more. Like 20 to 30 years life out of a chimney, a brick chimney or fireplace is not okay. Like, we have to do better. They figured this stuff out hundreds of years ago, and now we're just going downhill. We added the flues, we're building them solid. And this is a lot of extra work to do it like this, to build it solid with the brick and mortar and bring in all this pea stone. And it's not easier to do it like this. They were all thinking, everybody always thinks they're doing it a better way than the last guy. And the problem is they're not. It's just getting worse and worse. And I feel like we're just losing it. And the only way that we're going to get through this is by sharing information on platforms like YouTube or whatever, where people can actually look at somebody else's work, or people can explain what they think about chimneys instead of just hearing it from the guy down the road, or like people that don't really put much thought into it. They're like, oh, this, chimneys need to be built solid. We need to fill them solid. That's the best way. And there's a lot of people around here that talk like that. There's people that built them like that. There's people that still believe that to this day, that every chimney should be built solid. But the problem, or like the hard mortar thing, people want to use type S mortar or harder mortar, but it's all proven to just fail after like 20 or 30 years. So the only way we're going to get better is by sharing information on platforms like YouTube or social media, where we can all exchange ideas. Because there's guys on YouTube that, some really nice guys that have big channels. They show masonry, chimney stuff, that have no idea what they're talking about. And you can tell they don't have trowel skills, but they're selling themselves and people believe it. But I think most people can kind of see through it. I think it's good to get both sides of it. Like you see one guy that's like kind of a buffoon, explaining it, and then you hear somebody that knows what they're talking about, and you just decide which way might be better, or somewhere in the middle. So sharing information is important, because obviously we've lost something along the way.